Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Carrillo, and you're Inside Tennis with the Kaz, the legend.
Hi, tennis fans. The Kaz here with you for another half hour inside the world of tennis. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Discover the Lake Club, the most exclusive lifestyle in the best-selling luxury village in Lakewood Ranch. With a grand clubhouse, indoor and outdoor dining, spa, and the grand opening of 6 tennis and pickleball courts along with resort-style pools, the Lake Club has it all. Come tour 13 luxury models from the area's premier home builders and discover our newest neighborhoods, Genoa and Lakeview Estates. The luxury, the lifestyle, the Lake Club.
Hi, I'm Coco, and you're Inside Tennis with the Kaz.
Hi, tennis fans. Terrific as always to be with you. Great to see the 2021 ATP Tour off to such a great start. For our Suncoast professional players, 20-year-old Sebastian Korda of Bradenton reached his first ATP men's singles final at the 2021 Delray Beach Open. After 8 surgeries, 26-year-old Christian Harrison reached his first ATP semifinals at the Delray Beach Open. Christian then teamed up with older brother, 28-year-old former career top 40 singles player Ryan Harrison to reach the finals of the Delray Beach Open men's doubles. So what's new on the show today? Well, we have another great one for you. You will visit the ATP Champions Tour exhibition with the 1993 French Open doubles champions Murph and Luke Jensen, along with former number 2 in the world men's singles player and 4-time Slam singles semifinalist Tommy Haas. At the Boca West Pro Tennis Exhibition, Nate Griffin, Icon Management Director of Racket Sports and Fitness, will share his thoughts on tennis during the pandemic. And you will celebrate with twins Jake and Connor Krug as family, coaches, and friends gather for their college signing day to Duke for their academics and intercollegiate tennis career. So let's get it launched with a Boca West world-class pro exhibition. And they become students of the game. They're watching Tommy Haas's pure backhand. They're watching the volleys of the Jensens. That is cool stuff.
Yeah. They really enjoy seeing these legends play. I mean, Tommy's been around a long time. The Jensen brothers, I mean, they won the French Open doubles together. So, they've seen all these players, and they really enjoy coming out, and they really have a good feeling when they're out here.
When you have it, you never lose it. The smoothest backhand in the world. Right up there with Sampras, right up there with Federer. What's that one shot mean to you as a signature?
Well, thanks for that compliment, number one. Great to see you, Kaz, again. It's been a while. No, it's obviously one of those shots that I grew up really working on quite a bit. My father was always a big fan of Ivan Lendl growing up, and so I was trying to sort of follow his footsteps in that technique. So we spent multiple years, just trying to perfect that one-handed backhand, and it stuck with me, ever since, pretty much. And yeah, it's one of my favorite shots in the game for sure. It kind of makes it easier for me to hit the slice and the drop shot, and use it for the return in different variables. And I enjoyed.
Everyone was very excited when you took over as tournament director at Indian Wells, but my, did you ever think the challenges would come along the way they have with the job?
No, it's obviously been great to be part of that event. It's one of the best events we have in tennis. It's called the Fifth Slam. I love it out there. I love everybody that works for the event, and I've always loved going there as a player. On top of that, so being a part of it is tremendous. But what kind of situation we find ourselves in? Everywhere around the world, pandemic like this. I don't think anybody could have foreseen that, and we just have to do what's right in the end of the day. And we were the first big event, actually, I think, in the world at that time, to cancel the event back in the beginning of March, which was obviously a very, very hard thing to do. All the players were on site already. But, health and safety is first. Nothing else really matters. And that's what we stick with. And, having to postpone our event already for this year again, we're still in this battle. Hopefully we're out of it at some point this year, maybe in summer, end of the year, but we don't know. Nobody really knows. So we'll try to postpone the event and go from there.
I think it's absolutely incredible. In fact, I even said to Tommy, I said, would you like some advice? And he said, sure, why not? I said, just keep doing what you're doing.
What a life this guy has had. The life continues to be exciting. Here you are at Delray Beach. You're playing in the Champions because you were a Champions Tour, but now you're out there with the Bryants. How much fun is it to have two doubles champions like that represent a major event?
Well, we do have a lawsuit with them because they took our chest bump. They took the brothers thing because we're not sure if they're actually brothers. Twins, yes, but not brothers. So there's a lot of, rights and things. So whoever comes out to the, Delray Beach Tennis Center to see this thing get on, it's personal. They beat us when they were 10. They beat us when they were in college. They beat us when they got on the tour. But, this is the Dead Legends Tour. This is God's waiting room. So I think we can take them now. They're retired. They got replacement hips and ankles and stuff. We're going to limit the Advil intake for those guys. So I think arthritis is starting to set in. So I feel real good about the Jensen brothers, an opportunity to take them out.
I apologize to this guy. We're going small screen, TV stuff. You've been on the big screen, the movies. Ooh. What was that like? And what contribution do you feel that made to the game? I think it made a big game seeing you on the big screen with our sports.
Well, I mean, the movie Wimbledon that I got the pleasure of participating in, with Paul Bettany, and he's a superstar, and Kirsten Dunst, and it was a love story, but it got to showcase the game. It wasn't about how well these actors played tennis. It was about telling the story of two people that played tennis that fell in love, and then an unsung hero wins the championships. I think more movies, there's so many opportunities to showcase this game, either through humorous movies, energetic movies on the game. This game has so many characters and personalities. The Jensens are just a small sliver of, if you think about the Nastasis and the Vilases and the Borgs and the McEnroes and going back to Jimmy Connors. And I love all the guys. They all bring something a little different to the game. And this week we get to play with all the superstars and be around the young guys. And, this game gave me everything. And I have a debt to the game of tennis that I can never repay.
This is our sport. Our family sport is tennis, and our nieces and nephews play, and my parents and my grandparents play. It's that sport of a lifetime here at Boca. People understand the sport. They love it. We get into racket sports now because we play pickleball and we play other sports. It's really cool to just be engaged with your family through the game of tennis.
Tennis has given our family a life beyond our wildest dreams. I love the guts of the game. All over Florida is the guts of the game. We have players that are 3. It doesn't matter the rating. We're out playing. I've played bad and won, and I played good and lost. But I'm playing. That's the common denominator. So get out there and play.
What a challenge it had to be for a major league director of tennis like you to work with this pandemic.
Yeah, there's been a lot of challenges, Dave. There's a lot of member play with our game arranging program. Those are the games that we put together for the members. That hasn't changed. The events, as far as the amount of people that are playing the events, hasn't changed. It's the camaraderie. It's the socialization. They come here wearing a mask. They leave wearing a mask, and there's no socialization afterwards.
How much pride do these members personally take into the tennis program themselves?
A lot. I mean, they're really proud of the program. They're proud of Boca West in general, the country club. But yeah, I think they're proud of what we've built here in the tennis department. We've come a long way, and you know, my big thing is to bring things to them that keep them happy, that are entertaining.
Time I'm going to mention
Friend
sport
of
of
a
a
lifetime.
lifetime. You get to know this guy, he's a friend for life.
Guys, you're the best. You are the best, man.
Only because you bring it out of me. Thank you, Luke.
Thanks, buddy.
The Lake Club has it all. Come tour 13 luxury models from the area's premier home builders and discover our newest neighborhoods, Genoa and Lakeview Estates. The luxury, the lifestyle, the Lake Club.
I'm Mike. I'm Bob. You're Inside Tennis with the Cause.
Tennis fans, thanks for staying with us. Hope that you enjoy the remainder of the show. Nate Griffin, you are the director, the corporate director for Icon Management, Fitness, and Lifetime Sports, including the tennis and the pickleball. 15 clubs you oversee. All of a sudden, we're in full gear. COVID-19 arrives, and you are the man that all the clubs, the pros, are looking for some advice. How big of a responsibility was that, Nate? And how rewarding personally did you find that program?
Well, I think especially on the fitness side, because I've been in the racket sports for a longer period of time, but I haven't been in the fitness role for a long period of time, so it was pretty soon after where the COVID-19 hit, and as you know, the fitness centers were one of the first things to close, and then the racket sports followed. But it was a big responsibility given how large of a impact the COVID-19 was. But we have a good corporate support office, and with all the clubs and the GMs and the boards all got together and really worked together to find some solutions. So kind of worked out in the end, but was rewarding.
You worked very closely with the United States Tennis Association, with the USPTA, the United States Professional Tennis Association. How supportive were they? How strongly involved were they to get all of us through this?
Very supportive. Spoke to a few colleagues when this was all happening, and reached out to the USTA, a few of us had, and then John Emery of the USPTA actually gave us a personal phone call and spoke to us and talked about what the protocols were going to be, and it meant a lot for us that he would take the time to do that, because we know he was in the midst of making big decisions and all of that. So it was very nice to have that support from both of the organizations.
You went viral with the management firm, with the Icon Management going viral with all the sports, golf, tennis, pickleball, fitness, and it was there online almost on a daily basis. How well was this received by the pro staff and by the audience also?
It was very well received, more than I had thought originally. It was the fitness that was the big component. In the beginning, they were the first to close, so as you know, there is a lot of fitness material already out there that's done professionally, so we had all of our fitness directors put things together and get a virtual Facebook page, and it was nice to see the support coming from the clubs and the members, because they really wanted to see what their own professionals were doing. Tennis and pickleball followed suit.
During this pandemic, what was tennis adding to the lives of people getting into the game and going out playing?
So as you know, on the mental health and on the physical side, the racket sports, the fitness is so crucial for everybody, and it was a quick lockdown, and so a lot of us closed the tennis courts down at some of the clubs altogether, and some went to singles only, but it was very important for people to get out of the house in a safe way, to be socially distant and physically distant, and to get their exercise and find a way to play tennis and for sure without trying to touch the tennis ball. So that added another dynamic, but it was very rewarding for all those people to get out there and be able to do that, for sure.
You stayed very personally involved with your staff on a daily basis, 2 or 3 emails a day, getting feedback, getting input. What did you learn from the staff who was almost as involved as you were into this recovery?
Learned a lot from the staff. Everybody has a different perspective and a different personal situation that they're coming from with families and friends in different geographical areas and all that. So was able to get some things for the whole group collectively from some individuals that I would not have come up with on it myself.
Well, some very fine minds in the organization, no doubt about that, Nate. You mentioned singles first. Most of the players at the clubs and the organizations, the social players, are playing doubles. So what do these doubles players get out of their playing singles?
Yeah, so that was quite interesting. Some of them used to play singles in their entry to the game, and so it was just a matter of getting the willpower to go out and play singles and get creative with it. Some chose to do more cross-court, some
one-on-one doubles,
some down-the-line doubles, and getting back to drilling a little bit and practicing. It was really nice to see that they would go out for the improvement side of it or the fitness side of it, but also got out of competition a little bit and maybe enjoyed the game in a different way that they hadn't in a while. So it was nice to see.
COVID-19 brings families together. How big of an impetus did tennis have on bringing families together playing family tennis?
It was big. It was huge. The families that do play tennis together, or at least have a couple in the family, had a real nice advantage, because when we went on the lockdown, we also said, or the organization said, only to play with family members or somebody that's in your close circle. So it was a nice bonding time, I think, for the families to get out. And for my own family as well, we were able to get out a few times. My wife plays and the kids play.
Allie's a fine player.
She is. And it was
maybe even
nice
more competitive than you are at times.
I think you're right on that one, for sure. But nice for the parents and the kids to get out and rally around, and I think it's something that will that some of us take for granted. I know we did, but I think it's something that will stick.
It's going to pass. We're going to get through this. You know that. So, things that maybe, as you mentioned, taking for granted just earlier, what are you never going to take for granted again when we get back to normal life?
Good question. So I think your health, right? I think you only have one. You only have the organs once, and the mind and the muscles and so for everybody to really think about that. And I think some people will, hopefully myself and everybody, will build better habits. Maybe they won't smoke those 2 cigarettes, and maybe they'll give that up, or whatever it is. Just staying in better shape. So playing more tennis, staying active with the pickleball and the fitness. I think the health, if I had to say one thing.
Well, very inspirational, and the guy keeps inspiring us on an ongoing basis. You know how proud the Greater Sarasota Bradenton Tennis Organization is of you, and how grateful they are to have you guiding us along the way. Thank you, Nate Griffin.
Thank you, Kaz. Appreciate it.
How big of a decision was this? You had some big-time schools, Notre Dame, tough to not go there. We all know that.
Yeah.
But there was such respect given to you. You make the choice by your grandfather, by your mother, by your father, and you chose Duke.
Well, yeah, I think, we're grateful that they kind of let us make the decision first and foremost. A lot of times, the parents, kind of, put their will on the child and kind of make the decision for them. But ultimately, it's where we're going to spend the next 4 years of our life. So, I'm grateful that they let that happen. And yeah, it was a tough decision because all the coaches, all the schools were so great. So it was so hard deciding one over the other. And I think just we made a decision, we went with it. And that's, it's what you got to do in life sometimes.
The Bryan brothers went to Stanford. How cool is it to go as a team and go as brothers, twins?
Like I said, I think it's incredibly unique. There are only a handful of college athletes who are twins in any sport, really, who go to the same school. So to be able to do that here at Duke University and to play tennis for a program that we love and a coach that we believe in is something special.
Well, yeah, obviously something like this happens once, maybe every generation. So for it to be us is pretty special. And, we're looking forward to playing together as a doubles team for Duke while, continuing to be a part of such a great program. And, obviously none of this could happen. I just want to say this without everybody that's been here, all the coaching staff, everyone that's helped us along the way, and especially my parents and grandparents.
Let's talk about that coach that you believe in. He comes with a father, one of the greatest all-time players in the history of the game, Stan Smith. And you know him by the sneakers, the
Yes.
first leather shoe. How nice is it to tie into that family? The Vitals go with the Smith family.
Well, of course, yeah. Obviously, Stan, Ramsey's father, is one of the greatest tennis players and athletes of all time, and it just reiterates Ramsey's strong love for tennis and the passion he has for the game. He's been around the game since he was a kid, traveling to all the Grand Slams with his father. And I think that experience is something that's you can't put a value on. So I'm excited to learn from him and take in everything he has to offer.
You got the height, you got the motion. Stan Smith had one of the greatest serves in the history of the game. Will you listen to him on a tip or two on the serve?
Yeah, definitely. The serve for us big guys is one of the most crucial shots in our game, and Coach Smith does a great job teaching the serve there at Duke. And he's mentioned to me many times that that's one of the biggest things we're going to look to work on when I get to school. And like I said, yeah, it's a huge part of the game, and I can't wait to get there and start working.
You play as a doubles team, you play together, you help out one another. Who helps more so in the academics?
It's like tennis. It's a collaboration, and it goes both ways in terms of pitching in and helping each other. And I think that's what's so great about brothers and having someone going to the same school and being able to kind of achieve everything with you along the way and kind of take those stepping stones together. And it's nice to have someone to share with, and we'll look to do that in the next 4 years at Duke.
I say it, go Blue Devils.
You may. Go Blue Devils.
Go Duke.
Hey, Dick, you spent your entire professional career as a coach, as a broadcaster, telling kids to make the right decision. Your daughters, Terry, Sherry, have done. The grandkids have done it in tennis and lacrosse. How proud are you and Lorraine for the decisions the Vitals have learned to make?
Well, really, any parent would be proud of their kids as long as they give their best in pursuit of any dream or goal. And we had goals for our kids, and they pursued those goals. They had their goals. They went out and worked at it. There's a saying that goes, the only place you find success ahead of work is in the dictionary. You got to work. And this doesn't come by accident, getting the scholarship to Duke or any kid doing what they did. It's a lot of hard work. And there are a lot of people out there. I would simply say to people out there, let a child get something they can succeed in, whether it be music and art or dance or athletics. Find something to give them a passion and a love for it. When you got a passion and sense of pride about what you're doing, you'll be a success, Kaz.
I'll say it for him. Way to go, baby.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Well, it's certainly a big one for us. It's a day that we had always hoped would come for the boys. And I think, that they've put a lot of hours and commitment into this sport, and we have as a family as well committed fully, to allowing them to achieve whatever their dreams were with the sport of tennis, and it's taken them to this point, and couldn't be happier for them. They picked a great university, going to be playing for a great coach in a really tough conference, and I know they're up to the challenge, and just happy to see, where their future goes after this point. But they've certainly put a ton of hours in. We've traveled, not just the U.S., but all over the world playing, and, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of emotions that go along with all those years playing tennis, and as a tennis mom and watching your kids, go through this. So to reach this point and to see them sign their national letter of intent, certainly incredibly proud.
You had a great tennis mother, Lorraine, one of the best. What were you telling, and what are you telling your kids that you hear Lorraine's voice coming out at the same time?
Yeah, she was a great tennis mom because she was very low key, and we always did great no matter what our result was. Everything was great, you're playing great, even though I know sometimes that wasn't quite so true. So I'm not quite the same. I'm a little bit more emotional. I have a little bit more of my dad in me when it comes to the kids' sports.
So what did you learn from these two young adults that don't act as if they're still in high school? What did they teach you about judgment, decisions, time management, and maturity at young stages of their life?
Yeah, it's a great question. I learned a lot from the game of tennis, watching Jake and Connor play it, and my daughter Ava, who plays it as well. I grew up playing sports like football, baseball, and basketball, and got a full scholarship to play football at Notre Dame. And those team sports, you could rely on others. And in tennis, and what Jake and Connor excelled in was being able to count on yourself, and you got to put the hard work in, and when times are tough, you got to mentally and physically motivate yourself and find a way to problem solve, and that's something that I've been impressed and I've learned that makes tennis unique than team sports, for example.
Nick Bollettieri, you and Dick Vitale together have motivated hundreds of thousands of players. You have a message about playing college tennis or going into the pros, and everybody was smiling and laughing when you delivered that one. Share it for our audience, Nick.
Well, many years ago, there were about 6 countries play. Today, the whole world is playing. Unless you're given a big contract by a sponsor, I would suggest going to college for a couple of years. And remember, out of the 3,000 professionals playing the game, one makes it out of 80. And if you're not in the top 80 of the world, you don't make any money. So you have a choice to make in 2 years of college, see what the results do, and then make a determination.
Remember, in tennis scoring, love means nothing, but love of the game means everything. Keep alive your love of the game. Love you, tennis fans, and we'll see you right here every Saturday on SNN.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Carrillo, and you're Inside Tennis with the Kaz, the legend.